how did you come up with the Worf Growl? And did it evolve over the course of the show?
Thank you. I hated the Worf Growl. I really did. I thought it was, it started on Next Generation, and I just went. I really didn't like it. I thought it was kind of goofy. In fact, when it first happened, because then, okay, my whole growl, and I went, growl. So what do you mean? You mean like go like, yeah, do it? Okay, and it didn't evolve much, but I tried to do it as little as possible. Because it started out because the whole, if you look at the first couple of years of Next Generation, Worf was kind of out of control and swinging badly and growling and stuff like that. It was their idea, and I went to them one year. In fact, it was a great story. I went to Gene, and I said, the first 2 years of Next Generation, Gene was the guy you talked to. He was and I said, Gene, I got a problem. I said, that Worf is so out of control and growling and screaming and all that type of stuff, and he gets beat up all the time. Every time, it's like, a guy beams in and Patrick says, welcome to the Enterprise. I'm Captain Picard, this is Counselor Troy, and this is Mr. Worf. Would you like to beat him up? And I said, Gene, why is it? And he says, well, Michael, Worf is a big, strong character, and if they can beat him up, then they can beat anybody up, and that's what we want to show. And I said, well, Data is the strongest thing in the galaxy. Why don't they beat him up? And Gene said, get out of my office. Which is an answer. But no, it was, I didn't enjoy it, and I just hated it when I had to do it. But luckily I didn't have to do it a bunch. But on some occasions, like when Dax, the Dax character died, it served it very well because I put the scream in there, but I put a lot of painful, stuff in there that I think served it well. I think if you just don't do it a lot, it has more impact. Thank you.